Tomorrow is New Comic Book Day, but let's take a look at next week's New Comic Book Day in my top 10 comic book spec picks for New Comic Book Day, April 19th, 2023. I did want to remind you I am doing my 1K subscriber giveaway, and I do have my PayPal and my Venmo in the description of the video. With that out of the way, and without further ado, let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, the Everyday Non-Expert here. So, let's go ahead and talk about my top 10 picks for next week's New Comic Book Day. And at number 10, we have Extreme X-Men number 5. And it's mostly because of the cover is an homage to Wolverine number 1. So, if you're into homage covers, there you go. Number 9 is this awesome House of Slaughter cover. I don't know if anyone is honestly still reading House of Slaughter, but I wonder if this is the guy who's had a... I don't know if this is a certain variant that's sort of like the deceased variants, or if this is one of the guys who's always had his face covered. I don't know much about the House of Slaughter, to be honest with you. I just really like this cover and thought I recognized this guy from the earlier issues of House of Slaughter. So, just wanted to include that at number 9. Number 8 is Avengers Assemble Omega number 1. And the reason this is here is because it is... I almost said James Tynion. It is Jason Aaron's... I almost said Adam Aaron, the CEO of AMC. Jason Aaron. It's the end of his run on all things Avengers. You go back, I think, 5 years. And I just have this in here. I've had this on all of my lists so far for this upcoming week. And that was for my FOC video, my video for all of April Spec, and then for this one. And I have it in here because you never know what they're going to do in their last issue. He might try to do something to cement his sort of legacy in the canon of Avengers Forever. So, not Avengers Forever the series, Avengers going forward in perpetuity forever. So, anyways, number 8 was Avengers Assemble Omega number 1. Number 7 is another cover. We have an Amazing Spider-Man number 24. This is cover A. It says, oh, you know what? It's a variant, but it was saying cover A for Nakayama, so I wonder if it is a... I wonder if it's an exclusive. That's what I was thinking of. Because usually if they have an exclusive as cover A and cover B is a... Or if they have a cover A and cover B is a virgin, it's usually an exclusive. Yeah, main cover. Here's the main cover, if that's something you're interested in. But I mostly just have this book on here because of the Nakayama variant. So let's just move along to number 6. And it's going to be all of the Alex Ross covers. So we have Vulture on Amazing Spider-Man number 24. We have Avengers Assemble Omega number 1, the Galactus cover. And we have Thanos on the cover of Warlock Rebirth number 1. And the last one we have is Sandman, Kane Marco, on Red Goblin number 3. Number 5 is New Mutants, Lethal Legion, number 2. And it's just because it's an homage to the first appearance of Deadpool. So let's move on to number 4. We have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 107. This is the cover C, the one for 10 Bernardo variant. and it actually is Adam Park. It's not the Zack Black Ranger. It is the later Black Ranger. And number 3, finally, we're getting some Spec. I did actually want to go back to this one. I think there's a pretty good market for these action figure variants. There was in the past, and I think there could be going forward. So, of all of these, honestly, this is probably the one I would want to pick up. It's just not my number 1 because it's not necessarily. I guess it's technically speculation, but there's no key inside of like the story, a key appearance, or anything like that event. It's strictly just a cover, and I am very wary of putting a cover as my number 1 without any other sort of key value. So that's why it's number 4, but it could be my number 1. But anyway, number 3 is Flash 797. And so this one, they talk about having to go across time and space and bring back twins and a few new friends. So there could be different versions of the Flash and things like that they're going to be bringing back. So that's why this one's here. It's number 3 because it's has a few, probably going to have a few first appearances. But again, it might be a different timeline, so it might not necessarily be canon. So you always want to be careful on specking on anything like that. Plus, it's Flash, so I don't see the spec being that either long-lasting or hitting that hard on the secondary market. And number 2 is another DC spec. It's Superboy, Man of Tomorrow. And this one is the first, it's only a cameo, but their first appearance as a cameo of the Cosmeteers. It is a team. Let me see if any of these variants may have it. I didn't see it, but maybe. I don't think I see the team or anything like that on the cover. So anyway, Superboy, Man of Tomorrow is my number 2 because it is a cameo of the Cosmeteers. And before we get to number 1, I did want to remind you I do have my PayPal and my Venmo in the description of the video if you want to support the channel. But I also am still doing my 1K subscriber giveaway. If you wanted to go ahead and check out that video, it has the rules on it. You can still go back and watch and comment on old videos as part of that rule set. It doesn't just have to be on each, like, once a new video comes out. It's not like you can't go comment on the old ones. So anyways, check that video out. So that way you can actually win one of 2 awesome slabs. So anyways, let's move on to number 1. And we have Warlock Rebirth number 1. We already saw the Thanos cover of it, but this one is the number 1 because it has what I think could be the best spec key value, however you want to put it. It has a first appearance of Eve Warlock, who's actually from Adam's past. She's an old enemy, and she's described as the next step in evolution. So so I know that it's just in the book, but they're bringing Warlock into the MCU. So there could be a chance of this Eve Warlock making an appearance in the MCU. It might not be even in the next 5 years, but it could be eventually. And at that point, you're going to wish you had this book. But, is that really worth it? That's up to you to decide. You can see this was a very weak week for speculation for comic books and really just anything coming out in general. So this kind of defaulted, as usually Marvel spec is higher just than any other sort of publisher, strictly because of hitting the MCU gives the book, or the MCU gives any spec sort of a leg up over any other type of speculation, even over getting like a DC movie or optioned in a Netflix series or anything like that for an indie without the book already being good. So Usually older Spec, if it got picked up, will still be really good. Like Sweet Tooth or something like that, or Umbrella Academy. Those books were already good. They were already hot, and they just happened to then get option. It wasn't like a new book like this, and then it got option, and then it skyrocketed in value and stayed up there. So again, just be careful really on specking anything this week. I don't know that I really would, but I wanted to provide you with this list and just let you make the decision for yourself. So there's my number 1, Warlock Rebirth number 1. Alright everybody, that's going to go ahead and do it for me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit that thumbs up to give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel to see more great comic book and collectible content like this, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought about my list. Was there anything I missed that you're looking forward to? Was there anything I mentioned that's ranked lower than you would possibly have it? Let me know. Alright, I'm just going to keep this one short and sweet. Right here you can check out all of my spec picks for April, and right here you can check out all of the Alex Ross covers. I include my any spec worthiness on the Alex Ross, like the Thanos having the not only being an Alex Ross cover, but it has spec as far as Warlock goes. So if you're interested in that, check that video out, and until the next one, bye.